Welcome to Kotinka Software Application Academy. In this tutorial, you will learn input from user. As usual, you can log into the learning platform. You sign in. Go to beginners. Fundamentals of Python. And down, click Start Learning. Goes tutorials number 10. Then this is input from user. By the end of the lesson, learners will learn how to write program of input from user, perform operation with input values. Start learning. You can read from this. Previously we output our result by using a print statement where we just assign a value name to be equals to this, then you print the value of name. But in this case, we are going to do something different. We assigned an input from the user, and the value, we store the value inside the name variable here. So let's copy this. Let me go to the Visual Studio, click here, then new folder, and say input, then input, let me just say input.py only. So okay, so input.py only. Let's paste it and run the program. Let's see. As you can see, I output out this name. I can decide to change this one to my name, and you can see. So when you click here, it will still have my name here printed. Wow, that's great. Okay, so now in this case, now we are going to supply input from the user where the user is going to put his name here. Then we hold the name into a variable called name. Then we print. We will tell the user your name is depending on what the user supplies. Then in my own case, I supplied Ahmed Dora. That is why you see the system is printing your name is Ahmed Dora depending on what you supply. So let's copy this and test it in Visual Studio. We paste this one here. Then let me comment this. This is commenting. So what is my name? And I will supply my name. Doda. Press enter. You see your name is Ahmed Doda. Pretty simple. Okay, let's go back again. This is all the same thing. You can prompt the user to supply a color. Then you tell the user your color is this. So let's copy this. Let me comment this. Come to this down. Paste it. Then let me run this program. So what is your favorite color? My favorite color is blue. I will supply it for him. Then you tell you your color is blue. All right. So depending on what you supply, here I supply Ahmed. That's why we are seeing Ahmed here. So you can equally do this with age again. You can you can do it this way in a way that the input from user will ask the user what is your age. Then if the user supplies that age, it's going to use a print statement to print that age with a statement your age is, then with age. So let me comment out this. Okay, so that this comment simply means if you don't want this thing to print, then you comment it. So now let me print this one. As you tell me what is your age, then I will supply. Let me say 4. Press enter. Then the program will tell me your age is 4. Good. Anything you supply, that's where you will see. Now again, when you have H1, H2, and you have like 2 users, you ask for the first user what is your age. Then the user will supply the age. The second user again, you ask him what is your age. You supply the age. Then you sum up these ages together, and you have your result. So now the reason why I'm using this float is that to tell this, ordinarily by default input from user print it output out a string which is not a number. So if you want to convert that string to a number, you have to use a float, then to convert it, or use int to convert it, depending on what you want to use. So let me just copy this, paste it there. I usually comment this so that I can see only the result of what I want for now. So now you can see I run the program. What is your age? That is H1. I will supply, let me supply 4. Then H2, what is your age? That is H2. I will supply 3. Press enter. If ages, the ages are 7. So that is how simple it is. So this is just an example I'm trying to show you up here. You can equally perform if and else statement with a input from user. Okay. So now as you can see here, we have a num1, which is a float. I want the input from user to be a number, and that is why I put this float. Convert the string to a number. Then anything I supply here is going to hold in this variable num1. Then it's going to prompt me with another input from user again, which is num2. Anything I supply is going to store here inside num2. Then I will test now if num1, the value I get from this one, is greater than the value I got from this one. Then the program should print this is greater than the value which is num1. So which means num1 is greater, else num2 is greater. Then let me copy this and test it. Let me comment this. This is very interesting, right? So now this is what you have here. Okay, let me run the program. Okay, now let me show you so that you can see what is num1. Let me supply num1 to be 3. What is your num2? I will supply num2 to be equals to 2. And then this program is very intelligent. The program can be able to identify which number is greater. Then now he identifies 3 is greater, so this is greater. So 3 is greater from this. You can equally test it with other values as well. Okay, let me supply for num1, let me supply 2 and press enter. For num2, let me supply 10 and press enter. Then you see this is greater. That which means num10, num2 is greater. So this is just a simple demonstration on how to use input from user and perform so many operations, including if statement, else, mathematical operations, everything. You can use input from user to do it. So this is just a pretty simple way of performing input from user operation with Python. Uh, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification button.